Hi everybody, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. We are ending our distance week, going back to hybrid campus learning starting Monday. Remember, expanded cohorts, vaccinated adults on campus, working in teams. This is very exciting for our teachers and I think for our families and our kids too. May 3rd is when we'll go K-8 full days on campus. We'll certainly have distance learning going for those who've chosen that option too. Keep in mind there are many moving parts. Our leadership team and our teachers are working overtime. We'll be working this weekend, getting places and spaces set up, going through new protocols, figuring out all those details. That is all happening right now in real time, putting in orders for new furniture. So we really are trying to do our best to enhance the experience on campus and distance learning right now. And at the same time, we're planning for next year, right? 2021 is really wrapping up. 21-22 is really ramping up. And so as a school, we are hiring. I just was on a Zoom interview 2 minutes ago. We are getting schedules in place. We're talking to Sports House down the street to bring back that venue for kids in terms of PE and sports. We're talking with KidsJet, our shuttle service, setting up shuttle spots and shuttle stops. So we're really looking ahead to this coming August, while at the same time trying to orchestrate some changes on campus as well. So please be patient. It's a lot of work. I can't say enough good things about the good people doing that important work. Speaking of August, I was looking over a slide deck I got from the county that was, I think, given to them by Governor Newsom and his team, and it was about the outlook for 21-22, and the slides were laid out sort of from August to August, right? What did we learn from August 2020, and what do we expect in August 2021? And I want to share a little bit about this because I think it's important. So in one of these slides, they talk about research and understanding of the virus, of schools trying to operate in this environment. And remember, we partnered with Stanford to really help schools locally and within California and even more broadly open and operate with that question, how do you run a school during a pandemic? And on this slide around research and understanding, August 2020, we had limited understanding of the role of children in COVID-19 transmission, right? We really didn't know. And we had a tentative understanding of effective precautions. Is it distance? Is it aerosol, this virus? What do we do? And there was deep skepticism of children and mask wearing. Can they wear masks? I even know at Synapse, we thought, how are they going to do this? I thought, like, how are these kids going to keep these masks on? Well, what do we know now? In this slide, it says, now we know that the consensus is children are not major vectors. The consensus is that in-school transmission can be minimal with key precautions. And there's a strong understanding that masks are very effective and that kids can wear them effectively. I would say kids are better at wearing masks than adults, certainly some of the adults I see out and about these days. And what do we expect by August 2021, right? That's where my mind is these days. Better tailored and targeted precautions, this is what the governor is saying. Growing evidence of vaccine effectiveness, I'm a vaccine optimist. Continued mask wearing across all ages. Robust testing and contact tracing, and further heightened focus on variants. So we're going to have to watch that stuff too. But this is a really interesting outlook for the coming year and helpful as we plan for August 2021. And I want to end with something I was reading in the New York Times. It was a transcript of a podcast that was interviewing Alison Gopnik. She's at UC Berkeley. She is in the field of cognition and learning. And it was really a look at kids' brains and adults' brains, right? Why do adults lose the beginner's mind, which is sort of a Zen term, right? Like what is it that children can teach us about learning, about play, about consciousness? If you listen to me talk to staff and certainly talk to leadership, I am constantly sharing my deep skepticism of adults and what they know, including me, and my am I feeling that we should be listening to kids and observing children and watching them? We can learn a lot from them. And in this really interesting podcast, Gopnik discusses the brain of a child and the brain of adults, right? And looks at it from sort of a biology, evolutionary biology point of view. And so I want to read a little bit about this, right? So she says, you've got one creature that's really designed to explore, to learn, to change. That's the child, right? And then you've got this other creature that's really designed to exploit, as computer scientists say, to go out, find resources, make plans, make things happen, including finding resources for that wild, crazy explorer that you have in your nursery, that kid. And the idea is that those two different developmental and evolutionary agendas come with really different kinds of cognition, really different kinds of computation, really different kinds of brains. And I think with very different kinds of experiences of the world. So the very way that you experience the world, your consciousness, is really different if your agenda is going to be get the next thing done, figure out how to do it, figure out what the next thing to do after that is, versus extract as much information as I possibly can from the world. And I think adults have the capacity to some extent to go back and forth between those two states. But I think that babies and young children are in that explorer state all the time. I believe that to be true simply from my observations and empirical data collection over many decades. I think we can learn a lot from kids if we slow down enough to observe, and we shouldn't be filling them like empty vessels and pushing them to learn certain things in order to get things done and maximize productivity. Gopnik's saying their brain isn't designed for that, so you can't force that. And we should really honor that and perhaps even try to learn a thing or two from kids along the way as well. So with that being said, have a great weekend, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing many of you on campus this coming Monday. Take care.